Good morning. I want to discuss House Bill 49, which is the child labor bill that's being passed currently in Florida. I want you guys to understand the term economic foreshaping in relation to House Bill 49 and then relate that to the video I did talking about our current currency system, which is the fiat currency system. The lowest age nationally to work in the United States of America is 12 during school hours. The retirement age is 67 currently for all of us. Understand that what happens is these states that are passing these lower labor laws or longer working hours comes into the mathematical realm. If I cannot lower the age, I extend the hours, always trying to cut into the bottom line. What I need you to understand is how economic foreshaping works. There are conversations that are being had that have to figure out how to balance the budget, whether you are for it or against it. That's the important part. So what states do is they lay the foundation. Whether you for it or against it, they lay the foundation for an argument at the federal level. Simply saying, there are states, or we have the majority of states, who have already implemented these labor laws or lax these labor laws. This is important to understand when you wonder how arguments happen. They build over time, economically shaping the direction that we're headed into. So when you are arguing, saying that, hey, I don't want to work or want to have to work till I'm 70 years old, 55 years at the lowest age that an individual can work is how long you're in the working system at 12 years old until you reach the retirement age currently. That's 55 years. So if I cannot keep lowering this down, then I need to extend those hours out. Now, how do we choose our target audience for this? These are all the conversations that do happen, and it's just to educate you as to where we all stand when they have these convos. You can look up anywhere and find out that our educational level is continuing to decline. So you can already safely assume that someone is saying, hey, there are already children failing that will not graduate nor pass these classes. Why not let them get into the workforce? There is a place for it. This is the argument that is happening, whether you are for or against, whether we have a word in or we don't. The only thing that we request and that I promise to give you is everything that gets put on the table. Here are the pros, here are the cons, and here are the individuals who are for the pros, and here are individuals who are for the cons. That's what we're looking for. There is no need to lie. There's no need to make it seem deceptive or any of these things, but it is something where we're trying to get as much information out as possible to explain probably what's happening at these convos. It is hard to hear as a parent that, hey, the likelihood of a low-income family to graduate and become a productive citizen is lower. It's low. And it's not increasing because our education is declining. It's just not increasing. And there is a lot of reformation that is needed in the capitalist and socialist environment in order to try to foreshape this into a different direction. This is why we are seeing this type of legislation. Now, when I say that we need to be able to speak to this and vote to this, it's making sure that, hey, you ask your mayors and your aldermen and your governors, hey, can we chime in? Are you for House Bill 49 or against House Bill 49? Before it even gets to the talking point table, so that when it gets to the House, they already know citizens are for or against the proposal. I get that in this democracy that some people will say, well, this isn't a democracy. We don't get to chime in on anything. Well, it's true. But then it's not true because you did elect officials to make decisions on your behalf. Those officials just don't really give you any more say-so. So when I elect an official or you elect an official, it doesn't mean that I agree with every single thing that that person says or does. That's not what that means. And there are places where we do need to still get the heartbeat of our states and how they feel about this. One of the simple questions that we should be asking consistently is, what was the purpose to ever implement child labor laws? What was the purpose? That's something that should be immediate. I can tell you as a father with children that when my kid comes home, the last thing they want to do is study. And right now, they don't even have a job. The last thing they want to do is study. Now put them to work longer. And again, educationally, a lot of our children are slipping, and this declination is happening every year, lower and lower. And the standards are being lowered to simply say, hey, we're not there yet, but we're gonna get there. But the standards are so low that even considering getting there is failure. And it's just to a point to where we have to have the conversation and just be able to weigh in. Yes, somebody's probably arguing that, hey, we could get some children to work longer. That's more money in their household for the children who put money back into their household. That's an argument that is to be had. I don't know how many people would vote for or against that based on your situation. But I do know that you should want to weigh in. That is important that you weigh in. I do not believe that liking videos is necessarily the same as weighing in, because having an opinion without something tangible to associate with it is just a talking point. That's all it is. And we need to put our citizens back in a position where we're just not having talking points, where you can actually see that, hey, if we had in 2020 7,700,000 voters that on the website that we created, the proposal documents that are going to be proposed to the House are there for them to vote on. And we had X amount of percentage of that voting percent, of that voting number, vote yay or nay for this. And we gave them all the information that we have. And if there's something new that comes out, when the bill either passes, or if the bill passes or doesn't pass, we'll keep putting that information out so that you have an opportunity to weigh in. Weighing in is important. And I'm a governor for weighing in. I need to know at the table that the pulse of the state is behind the proposals. And if they're not behind the proposals, then it is our job to give you so much information and create a picture that you can feel, see, and understand, and see how it's going to be effective or ineffective based on the bills that are proposed. That's important. That's how you govern. That's how you lead. We have a minority of representatives that lead a majority economically, and the way they foreshape needs to be inclusive. Economic foreshaping should be inclusive of the people, and you should hear the percentage of individuals who voted put to every House bill that every proposal that ever comes to the floor. That percentage needs to be put at the 2020 number of 7,700,000 voters. That's my outlook on it. So in 2026, however many voters are there, when House bills and proposals come up, you'll be able to go to a website, look at those bills and proposals and say, boom, these are the amount of people who clicked for this. These are the amount of people who wanted to see this happen and who didn't. And the ones who simply said, not enough information. Put more information out. There'll be a place to add in what type of information you're looking for so we can better granularly understand these things. So right now, I'm 100% against extending the hours these young people are allowed to work. I think we have an education problem that definitely needs to be solved. And I also think that we have an economic problem that needs to be solved. We need progressive thinking to get there. And that's collective thinking. You guys have a great day.